We all wanted to witness the return of the cat girls, but not like this. Not like this. Crazy cat ham roommate. I recently moved in with this girl. She seems nice enough at first, is maybe 220 pounds, says she used to weigh 100 pounds heavier, but that she's at a major weight stall right now due to some mental health reasons. I'm not here to make fun of her mental health at all, though it might come into the story at some point. Anyway, the first full day that I spent with her was an experience, to say the least. She starts off the day by chugging a cup of coffee. Her mug looks like it holds 18 ounces, but because I've been in the kitchen while she's pouring it, it looks like about a quarter of a cup of creamer goes into each cup of coffee, and she drinks about 3 to 4 cups a day. So that's about 480 calories of coffee creamer before her day even really starts. 500 calories, it's breakfast, it's fine. Then she walks laps around the house for 20 minutes. So this is cool. We talked about it, and she says she walks like 10,000 to 12,000 steps in a day. Nice. I was impressed. She's got some health issues, and maybe she actually is heading down the right track, but I'm not 100% sure. After she walks, she makes herself 4 eggs cooked in butter with some turkey bacon. It looks like she takes some effort with this, but when I asked, she said she doesn't like to cook actual bacon because the sizzling popping noises frighten her. Oh God. And then if she had someone to come in and cook her real bacon every day, then she would do that. She also covers this in massive amounts of cheese, salsa, sour cream. Sometimes I've seen her add an avocado. Yeah, we're looking at about 600 calories minimum here. Oh, this is all still breakfast. Okay, well, we might have a problem here. Although I don't understand why OP's taking it upon herself to calculate these things and hold it over their roommate's head. Come on, man. She's putting in the effort. She's trying to do the thing. Maybe have a frank conversation with her about this instead of with Reddit. Anyways, then she walks for about 20 more minutes. Then she sits in a chair and works on crafts. If I try to talk to her, she will snap at me and eventually just put her headphones on. None of this is really relevant, but when she advertised for a roommate, she said she was introverted and would prefer an extrovert who would inspire her to get out of the house more. Bro, that ain't my job. So far, she isn't at all interested in leaving the house. Instead, she has a friend that comes to drag her to her medical appointments and bring her groceries, which that is a whole other tale in itself. Anyway, about 2 hours after her egg/bacon monstrosity, she will make 2 sandwiches, minimum, sometimes 3. They consist of a thick layer of pimento cheese, which I find so gross, but that's besides the point. It's okay to be wrong.
Buy yourself some pimento cheese and some white bread.
Then she adds slices of cheese to this slice of cheese, and then a massive slice of this really expensive roast beef. I only know it's expensive because she informed me that if I touched even 1 slice, she would sue me. Slash, I forgot to mention, she talks really violently when she does talk to me at all. Well, I don't like that none too much. She going on the naughty list. She will add another layer of cream cheese to the other side of the cream cheese. The slices of bread are not square. They are large slices of bakery sourdough bread that are like 150 calories each. And I have stopped trying to add up all these calories at this point. Okay, good. I don't understand why you were doing it in the first place. Like, yeah, she's sort of wretched. She wants everyone to do everything for her. She's not even trying a little bit, but I don't know. Her struggle is not my struggle. Maybe there's some psychological reason she can't leave the house. It looks like she's not doing her best, but maybe she is, because we're all fighting our own battles, you know? After lunch, she says she's feeling sluggish and will sometimes lay down. Other times she'll call her friend and start mooing like a cow. And yeah, When I say that, I mean she will start going, "Boo! I'm hungry. Yes, I ate lunch, but it was too heavy, and my blood sugar's all whacked, and so I'm depressed. Would you bring me a milkshake and some fries?" It's all overly dramatic with lots of moans, which really does sound like an animal being maltreated in the process. Then she starts snapping at me. She asks, "Why we haven't left the house to walk? That walking in the house makes her depressed." It's not my job to fix you. I ask her if she wants to go now. The answer is always, as of late, "Are you crazy? It's like 90 degrees out there now." Anyway, if her friend had chosen to come over, she comes over with a massive amount of snacks, little Debbie snack cakes, chocolate-covered Nutter Butters, like 4 to 5 different kinds of mini candy bar, fun packs. Sometimes just a random can of frosting. Oh, have you no shame? Which I have seen her eat an entire can in one sitting before. This is all food addiction of some sort, and really that's one of the toughest addictions to kick, because you can't go cold turkey on food. You gotta do it, just in moderation this time. If her friend has not chosen to come over, then she will mope, and finally decides that walking will make her feel better. It's good. Sometimes she binges on whatever we have in the house, but mostly I've noticed without her enabling friend, she does better. Dinner on those days is usually fish, shrimp, or chicken with some rice. However, most of the time her friend comes through and she ravages that food. I cannot even imagine. I can't begin to total the calories that she consumes, and she eats it all messy with her mouth open, and I opt to just leave the living room area at that point because she knows it bothers me, so she does it more often staring me down while opening her mouth and pushing the food around with her tongue. Oh, God! She's an animal! Make her stop! Sometimes she'll let some food fall out. Yet again, this is definitely some kind of mental illness, so I'm not trying to talk too much about it. I mean, you made a whole Reddit post about it. Why not just lay all our cards on the table, shall we? I'm honestly not sure if she's ill or not, but OP keeps bringing it up, which makes me have a lot of questions. Anyways, dinner is a box of mac and cheese or 2 packs of ramen. Sometimes she makes some kind of sloppy mess that might be spaghetti and covers it with an entire cup of cheese, or sometimes an entire package of bacon bits. Sometimes her friend will bring over McDonald's or Taco Bell and they'll sit there and devour it like absolute pigs. Anyway, our Neckbeard doesn't walk anymore past this point on those days, and she'll be posting to all her social media groups how she did so good today and ate right and walked however many steps. I tried to be gentle about asking how that is eating good, and she screamed at me, "I have an eating disorder! I don't have to log binges!" Okay, but just because you write it down doesn't mean that it didn't happen. We're clear on that, right? Your body is logging it for you. She'll check her blood pressure at bedtime and be angry that it's like 300 to 400, and she'll slam things around and snap at me to keep a better eye on her tomorrow. What? Then she goes to bed and repeats the same thing day after day. She's on disability, and I know her friend also gives her money at random, but I worry. Maybe I should move out before this becomes more of a problem. Like way more of a problem than it already is. Also, she owns a very fat cat. It doesn't actually look like she overfeeds it, but that's when I realized that she gives it bites from whatever it is that she eats. You can't even buy the cat its own cat food, man. How cold-blooded are you? Oh no, this double quarter pounder's much too good for kiddies. Like, you're responsible for that life. Matter of fact, she's also responsible for her own life. And just look at the job that she has done there. Oh my. It seems really easy for her to just pass the buck to anybody. So now OP has an additional job because apparently you work for your roommate now, making sure she's living the way she's supposed to live. This is just madness. And then there's also the fact that I was almost tricked by this cat ham. By her doing her walking and stuff, and I'm almost like, yeah, I don't understand why OP's coming in so hard on her. But by the end of the story, we got our answer. Anything to deflect blame from herself, including a mental health or eating disorder that could be entirely made up. It's just another way for her to deny any sort of responsibility. There's a lot to unpack here, honestly, but we ain't got time for that. I'm gonna go into the next story. And hopefully it ends with OP getting away from this exceedingly toxic person. Crazy cat ham has my cake and one of her personalities eats it. Oh God, it's one of those fake disorder cringe pretend you have DID and you're a system people. TikTok really has just been cancer for stuff like that, but you should still follow me over there if you use it. And subscribe on the video if you're enjoying yourself so far. So, I'm sorry that I'm unable to reply to individual people from my previous story, but to answer some things, no, I can't move until the end of May 2022. Until then, y'all are stuck with me. There's been no update post since then. It's a little bit sus, honestly. But whatever. So, someday in the first week that I moved in, I came home with a special piece of cake. Usually, this kind of lemon cake is gone within minutes of them putting the pieces out at our bakery. But this day, I snagged one. It was not a very big piece of cake, but it cost me $5 for a small slice of lemon cake filled with lemon curd. $5, bro? I'm in the wrong business for real. You're selling like $80 cakes. So when I brought this cake home, my cat ham roommate was deep in thought, typing something on her computer. I set the cake on the counter and rushed to go pee, intending to put that cake in the fridge directly after. But you know how it is. When you gotta go, you gotta go. Bring the cake with you. Eat it in the bathroom. That's what my lizard brain tells me. When I came out of the bathroom, she was in the kitchen, kinda wandering around the counter, licking her lips and obviously drooling. Yeah, crazy cat ham. I snagged one of those cake slices. I haven't had one in months, and they are just delightful. I was not trying to be snarky at all, even though she would still stomp her foot and assert that my words were rude. Whatever, dude. It's your life. You perceive it how you want to perceive it, right? She then informed me that I'd better eat it now because if I didn't, it would be gone and it wouldn't even be her fault. I asked how that would be possible, and she began to go on a long story about her childhood trauma and how her mind had split into many parts, and all of them were children except for her. And those kids, well, they ate everything in sight. It's why she was still so fat, despite walking so much. Because they force her to eat all this stuff. Oh my god. This is the heaviest amount of copium I've ever seen. Scientifically significant levels of disconnect here. At this point, I noticed at the top of the trash was a cupcake box. Now, these cupcakes are not special, like my cake. They are cheap bakery cake, covered in over a cup's worth of frosting. And it's not even good frosting, just straight up sugary land. Her friend must have brought it to her. Also, when I looked a little closer, I saw traces of lime green frosting on the side of her cheek that she seemed to have missed. I mean, okay, yeah, she had a cupcake before, but that doesn't mean she still isn't gonna eat the cake because the kids made her do it. You're not thinking about the kids, OP, that make her do this stuff. It's not her fault. It's never been her fault. How could it possibly be her fault? OP says, I'm sorry, Crazy Cat Ham, but this is my cake. And if you eat it, I will be very upset. In fact, if you can hold out and not eat it, I might share a bite of it with you. But if you eat it, I will be really upset. It's not a very convincing argument, honestly, especially if we throw food addiction into the mix. Like, I do believe she legitimately has a food addiction, but the DID thing, that's just like a bridge too far. Another way to cast blame away from yourself. And also, simultaneously, you're cheapening this disorder that people that live with would do anything to get rid of. Anyway, how was I already talking to her like she was my child or a dog that I was trying to train is beyond me. I'm simply too nice of a person. Anyway, we have a few more words. I put the cake in the fridge and go to take a nap. Hey, pro tip for life, if you're a nice person, you generally don't need to say it. It should be displayed through the actions of the story. Now, truth be told, I knew my cake would be gone when I woke up. I felt it deep in my bones. I was honestly prepared and sad that I had been too full from lunch to eat it just then. However, what I was not prepared for was some childish drawing on the whiteboard of the fridge. It's there for us to write down things that we're out of, or if we borrowed something small of the others. But today, there's a stick figure with pigtails eating my cake drawn on there. I thought it might say sorry, but instead it reads, "You suck," under it. How mature. Dude, I know it's just a piece of cake, but the principle here. It is time to plan for vengeance. It's time to prepare for war. OP rubs her eyes sleepily and shrugs. Next time, and there would be a next time, I would eat it in the car before even walking in the door. Or if you really do have to walk in the door with it, maybe you just put something in there. Hot sauce, X-Lax, motor oil, moose pea. It's whatever you want to do. I warned you I would eat it, she said it, almost gleefully, with a smirk on her crumb-covered lips, as if she had left the evidence there on purpose. I can't resist sugar. And then she walked me into the kitchen and force-fed it to me. I didn't even get to enjoy it, really. She practically made me choke on it. Well, I guess she didn't do her job well enough. Sarcasm. Yeah, but maybe not sarcasm. I was thinking the same thing. I hope you do. There are many future times on this because she has access to the whole house, and when I bought a lockbox for the fridge, she threw the whole thing out because I was quote-unquote taunting her. Can a landlord legally refuse to put a lock on my door when hers has one? Anyone in Oregon looking for a roommate? I'm honestly just relieved for a space to write all this down, so thank you for giving me that. Well, I do hope things have improved for you in the years since, OP. This is absolute madness. I was prepared for some Tom and Jerry shenanigans style hijinks, but it didn't happen. OP went dark after these two posts, though I do think that they are rather interesting posts. There's a lot to unpack here with this Neckbeard. Do I think she's ever going to self-reflect and wake up to her actions? No, unfortunately I don't. This Neckbeard's surrounded by enablers, and that even includes OP in a way. OP had her own reasons, you know, becoming a roommate, but it's not my job to make you do anything. To make sure you eat right and go walk. Where does personal responsibility fall into this equation? It doesn't at all, and I find that really frustrating. But I hope you enjoyed the story on some level. Friends, like, comment, subscribe, share the video around if you should like. I would appreciate that. Follow me on all them social medias. Hey, lots of links down in the description, including my gorgeous, wonderful, beautiful, generous Patreon patrons, my YouTube channel members. Thank you guys so much for helping me to get through. I hope you keep yourself safe out there, friends. Join us again tomorrow. Always remember, you are loved, you are worthy. You definitely, definitely deserve it, and I shall see you in the next one. So until then, friends, bye-bye.